Does Nvidia's Vera Rubin use too much memory?
So not only is the capacity higher, the throughput is a lot faster.
Is it too expensive?
What used to take 2 hours to assemble one Grace Blackwell rack now only takes 5 minutes.
Critics say it's too much HBM memory, adding too much cost, and I'm going to tell you why they're wrong. Here's the numbers that everyone's reacting to. Each rack has 72 Vera Rubin GPUs with a total of 20.7 terabytes of HBM memory, which is very, very expensive. So it's roughly 75 terabytes of fast memory total, and some critics are saying that's insane. This is with Michael Dell announcing that the first Nvidia Vera Rubin server is here and available to be ordered. I tried to find it on the website and didn't. His link didn't work. AMD's upcoming MI450 racks will use 50% more HBM memory than Vera Rubin, and they're not even admitting how much DRAM. So if Vera is too much, then AMD is worse. What's going on? The real story isn't memory. Vera Rubin delivers 10x the tokens per second and 10x the tokens per dollar versus the previous generation Blackwell. That works out to about 7x more tokens per unit of memory. So it's not using too much memory, it's using the right amount. NVIDIA's Vera Rubin is not a memory problem. It's the new baseline. Are you excited to find out what 10x is going to be like? I am.
Of a positioning game going on right now. You don't want to come in with your guns blazing too soon.
Do you want to criticize the SpaceX IPO and sound like a total expert? Here's how. Step 1, swear you read the entire IPO document cover to cover.
The pretty, mind-boggling figures that we've read.
Step 2, immediately ignore everything in the document about Starlink satellites and terrestrial data centers. Number 3, focus on AI enterprise application total addressable market and call it wildly exaggerated.
But then also the total addressable market is 28 trillion. These are sort of utopist numbers in some cases.
Step 4, hide these 3 columns, the first 3 columns of the chart, the ones where SpaceX dominates a $2 trillion TAM. Insist the company isn't profitable and the AI business is bleeding cash, while somehow forgetting the $15 billion a year Anthropic deal. Then predict Anthropic will cancel the deal because there's so much available data center space and no one's having a problem building new data centers. Number 7 is the key. Tell everyone Elon doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to run a business. He's never succeeded at anything before. Number 8, accuse Elon of being a bad guy who's tricking everyone and he's never done anything good for humanity. And make sure you don't tell anyone about Neuralink. Step 9, ignore your replies, block critics. Step 10 is the big one. Quietly buy as much as you can in the IPO because you're going to get a 5x in 5 years. And who cares what you said on Twitter 5 years ago if you got all that money? The US and China are battling for number 1 in AI. But who's number 3? Is it India? It's big. It's got lots of talent, but it's overregulated and they just can't get out of their own way. Japan has great food, but no entrepreneurial energy. Some key players in the supply chain, though. Europe has some key players like ASML, Mistral. You could say Google DeepMind, but that's really an American company. But European governments seem determined to stop progress. They just get in the way constantly. Mark Andreessen famously said that 80% of what AI is going to do is already illegal, and they'll make the rest of it illegal soon. You got Israel, Singapore, United Arab Emirates, and the Saudis. They all have good points to them, but they're all too small. Taiwan is critical to the AI story, but it's not clearly a country, still too small. My pick is Korea. It's not big, but it's bigger than the small countries, and it punches above its weight with Samsung and SK Hynix, multi-trillion dollars together, as keys in the supply chain, and the food is spectacular. Here's my sleeper pick, though. In 5 years, Argentina could be fighting for the number 3 spot. What do you think? We're adding a new segment to AI stock reports. We're going to do company spotlights. We've got a whole bunch of companies we're watching. So I wanted to start with Broadcom as the first one. It's one in our primary tier of stocks. It has a market cap of over $2 trillion. It's got priced at $446 a share. Its current price earnings ratio is 87, which is pretty high. The stock has been on a tear lately. The company's been doing really well, like most of the companies that we cover. It's based in Palo Alto, California, founded in 1991. The modern Broadcom formed in 2016 with a merger with the CEO, Hock Tan. Hock Tan was born in Malaysia, Penang. I've actually been to Penang. Went to MIT, Harvard MBA, has been active in business since 1983. I think he got active with AVGO around 2005, 2006. He's pursued an acquisition strategy that's worked out really well for the company. AVGO eventually acquired Broadcom in 2015 for $37 billion. That seems like a pretty good deal right now since it's trading at $2 trillion total. So what do? Well, outside of artificial intelligence, they design and supply semiconductors and enterprise software security solutions. Key areas include high-speed networking, storage, wireless connectivity, broadband access, infrastructure software. They serve data centers, enterprise network carriers, and consumer devices. Relative to its AI stuff, but a little bit different. It's still in the same category, though. One of the things they're known for is networking products, including the Tomahawk series of Ethernet switches. They are a dominant leader in the high-end merchant Ethernet switch silicon. Jericho 4 is a high-capacity Ethernet fabric router for distributed AI across data centers. They are the clear leader in multi-data center AI Ethernet fabrics. Broadcom is the clear #1 merchant supplier of Ethernet networking silicon for AI. Main rival is Nvidia, which primarily serves itself, but maybe serves others related to it. Hyperscalers are shifting towards Ethernet. Hyperscalers like Amazon and Oracle and Meta and Google are shifting toward Ethernet for cost and openness reasons, and that gives Broadcom a structural advantage in the niche. Broadcom is dominant in the high-end Ethernet ASIC segment that matters most for the massive AI clusters. I think they're better known for their work in custom AI ASICs or chips. They design and help manage custom AI accelerators for hyperscalers, especially Google TPUs, Meta's new, I think it's called Media. Usually they use TSMC to make the chips. They're not a fab, they're a chip designer. Their AI related custom silicon and packaging is now more than 50% of semiconductor revenue with $73 billion backlog. They compete with Nvidia and AMD on the GPU side, but they win on the custom merchant side, where hyperscalers want alternatives to Nvidia's full stack. Other players exist, but they don't have Broadcom's scale, they don't have TSMC's relationship, and they don't have a proven track record with multiple major customers. This is a high margin, high growth niche where Broadcom has a strong and defensible position, and it can be arguably a problem in the supply chain. If Broadcom has a problem, that can, one of my big things is the entire AI story depends on various levels maintaining their growth. So if Broadcom stumbles, they're one of the companies. If they stumble, it could be a real big impact on growth for everyone. They have such a large position in so many different fields that if they encounter problems somewhere, it may be that it'll take a while for somebody else to catch up to the supply that's needed, not just the supply that they currently serve, but the growth that people need. As we head into Monday stock trading, you can see that the AI stocks were up both on Friday and for the week. The indexes that we track, the indexes I made up, AISRX and AISRY. The AISRX, the primary stocks, were up 0.77% for the Friday and 2.3% for the week. You can see that 1126.8 were up 12.6% from the beginning of the month. AISRY seems to be down. I don't remember why. I must have done something wrong. Oracle up 17% on the week. That's a big deal. They were up 11% on Friday. Big movement. Micron continues to just crush it. Microsoft doing well. The app, you can see the hyperscalers were all up: Oracle, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon. I'm not sure why Google keeps lagging. Google just doesn't seem to be, banging like everybody else. Nvidia kind of flat. Nvidia had great numbers in their earnings and just had a big event, and they're just flat. ASML is like a dominant player in the infrastructure area and kind of flat. Some of the stocks are up and down a lot. Some of the stocks are like Google, Nvidia, and ASML tend to be more steady. TSMC tends to be more steady. Some of the other stocks show a lot of volatility. Just a quick pod watch mention: the All In Pod has a couple of big conversations about Anthropic and about AI in general. Brad Gerster in the most recent one, where I watched some of this one, and the way Anthropic is talking about building God is a little unnerving. And then Gavin Baker, more about AI, more about SpaceX. Very good conversation. So a short pod watch for you.
This year, our businesses together are growing incredibly. In fact, somebody told me last night that the annual GDP of Taiwan is going to grow almost 10%.
Check out Jensen Huang's keynote presentation at the Taiwan GTC event. Check it out. It's on YouTube. Just appeared like 7 hours ago. Worth watching. I'm still playing with the format here on the AI Stocks Report. Still experimenting. I think you're going to see some of this format this week. What you saw today should be continue this week. I may stop doing a Monday report because I cover a lot of the same things on Sunday. As always, please consider supporting me on YouTube as a channel member, on X as a subscriber, or on Patreon. You get access to my series of options videos, which help you look at long call options and see my options metric and try to understand how that helps understand not only long call options, but long term investing, what it tells you about these stocks that you might be missing without seeing that. Thanks, everybody, so much for watching.